with more vaccines expected in our lovely country, Uganda, therefore calling upon you to go for vaccination, where 12 million doses of COVID-19 vaccines are expected in the country to arrive in the country by December. This was disclosed by the Director General Health Services, Dr. Henry Mwebesa, and asked the public to embrace the vaccination exercise. President Museveni's directive for Ugandans to get vaccinated has been boosted by the Director General of Health Services, Dr. Henry Mwebesa. Mwebesa said the vaccines are safe and urged religious leaders to champion the vaccination process. He said the vaccination exercise will give leeway to the reopening of the country with a minimum of 4 million people being vaccinated. The vaccination exercise, however, has been embraced in the outcasts of Kampala, with Chitebi Primary School taking the lead. At Chitebi Primary School, the vaccination exercise was embraced by all and appreciated government for the initiative. The public, however, has been warned against critics of the vaccination and the vaccines. For those vaccinated, they are optimistic that the country will get back to normal when the virus is suppressed. The COVID-19 pandemic has retarded development, and government is optimistic that once people are vaccinated, Uganda's economy will get back to normal.
Minister of State for Internal Affairs General David Muhoozi has assured Parliament that the due process will be followed when handling the matter involving the two re-arrested MPs Alan Sewanyana and Mohamed Segirinya. General Muhoozi's statement came at the backdrop of a planned boycott by legislators of the opposition protesting the unfair treatment and arrest of their colleagues.
Well, of course, now we'll get into our international stories, and we'll be starting with the story of Afghanistan and the US Taliban, where we did see Taliban deal hastened Afghan collapse, and defense officials did mention. Now, top US defense officials have said that the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan can be traced back to the deal between the group and the Trump administration. Now, the so-called Doha Agreement was signed in February 2020 and set a date for the US to withdraw its troops. Now, General Frank McKenzie said also that the deal had a pernicious effect on the Afghanistan government and the military. Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin agreed, saying the agreement had helped the Taliban to get stronger. And in addition to setting a withdrawal date, the Doha Agreement included a broad obligation for the Taliban to take steps to prevent groups such as the Al-Qaeda from threatening the security of the US. Now, in Africa, Eritrean dies at 127 years, and it says joyful life and family. While we see a man in Eritrea has died at the age of 127, his family said that he expressing the hope that Natabai Miswe will earn a place in the World Guinness Book of Records as the oldest person to have ever lived. The patience, generosity and joyful life were the secrets behind him living for so long, and his grandson Zeren Ntabei told BBC also. Now, Ntabei died peacefully in his village Azefa, which has a population of about 300 and is in gorge surrounded by mountains. At least this happened on Monday.
Well, climate change is another pandemic with devastating effects. Now, apart from disastrous economic consequences, the COVID-19 pandemic has amplified the climate and security crisis in the Sahel, said Niger's Minister of Foreign Affairs during the country's turn to speak at the UN General Assembly. Now, Hassoum Massaoudou highlighted that his country and the region are suffering recurrent droughts and flooding, as well as locust infestation and annual loss of thousands of hectares of agricultural land due to degradation. Citing recent words of President Mohamed Bazoum, he said that to win the fight against climate change, the world needs more political will. It is the hope of Niger that COP26 in Glasgow will serve as a framework to reaffirm political will to battle the effects of climate change, he said, noting that some of the big hurdles include finance and technology transfer for developing countries.
Good morning, Uganda still continues, but just to remind you that there is some healthy drinks for you to take and some healthy decisions for you to make this morning.
With hallelujah ginger tea and hallelujah turmeric drinks, well, a drink you shouldn't miss this morning. Just grab yourself one of these bottles this morning and you will be good to go. Ensure you take the turmeric, or if you like sweet things, then hallelujah ginger tea is there for you. Very natural, 100% natural. And of course, all that you need and are hard to find, they have gotten them for you, condensed them and put them in this bottle to boost your immune system. So grab yourself one at just 1,500 at any shop next to you.
Our poll question this morning is also going to be regarding what are some of the ways that government can guarantee human rights and the rule of law. What are some of the ways that government can guarantee human rights and the rule of law? Hashtag UBCGMU. We would like to hear from you in that regard on the number that is on your screen. You can send us a direct SMS or even a WhatsApp. Better still, head over to our Twitter handle, which is at UBCTV Uganda, and we will be eager to hear all your responses in that regard. But as I had spoken over earlier, Good Morning Uganda today is going to be rather at a faster pace than usual, simply because at exactly 8 a.m. we are having the UNBS support to small, medium-sized companies for the COVID-19 recovery, and they are talking about product standardization and certification of amendments. So that is something that you want to look out for as you're a new business owner or planning to actually start up something that is made locally. This would be a good opportunity for you to tune in at exactly 8 a.m. For now, we leave you with a song for the day. We return with our newsreel.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala,